Welcome students, welcome again to my new lecture. I am Mohammad Tanbir Ahmed, lecturer Department of Civil Engineering, World University of Bangladesh. In previous lecture we have discussed about the collection methods and system of solid wastes, and today we will discuss the following topics. First one, vehicle for solid waste transportation. That means which types of vehicles are normally used in waste transportation and their introduction. Then processing of solid waste. That means how the waste managed before it reached into disposal sites. The last one is recycling processes of solid waste in Bangladesh. Generally in Bangladesh and many developed countries, solid waste is recycled for further use, and here we will discuss the process adopted in Bangladesh. Selection of the vehicle. Selection of the vehicle should depend on the following considerations. When try to selecting vehicle, we should consider the following characteristics. First one, characteristics of wastes. And that means type of waste and their properties, for example density, moisture content, size distribution, etc. Then method of collection. If we use whole container system, we have to select appropriate vehicle for that, and similarly for other purposes. Then types of road to be served. This is the other important matter. If the road is narrow, we need to use a small vehicle and vice versa. Then ease of maintenance and availability of spare parts. We should not use any vehicle whose maintenance cost is high and spare parts are not easily accessible. The last one is cost of operation. Where it is possible to collect waste by a small or manually operated vehicle, if we use a large vehicle there, cost will be increased. As cost efficiency is the main part of engineering, so we should be very careful about the cost. Types of vehicles. Many different types of vehicles of varying sizes are available on the market. Four major categories of vehicles are as follows. We have to use which one is suitable for us. Compaction vehicle. Designed to compact low density compressible wastes during the collection stage in order to optimize the quantity collected per trip. Widely used in industrialized countries to compact waste before long range transportation, and in many cases it is done during the collection. It reduces the payload capacity of the vehicle and thus increases the operation and maintenance cost. Semi-compaction vehicles fall in between compaction and non-compaction vehicles and are suitable for medium to high density wastes. Generally it represents a halfway between compaction and non-compaction vehicles. Some reduction in wastes in volume is achieved. Third one is non-compaction vehicles, suitable for dense wastes with which the payload capacity of the vehicle can be reached without compaction. These types includes open trucks with sliding doors on the sides for loading, and these types is common in Bangladesh. Generally, solid waste in developing countries is typically of higher density, so payful load of waste collection vehicles can be obtained without any compaction mechanism. In many developed and industrialized countries, non-compaction vehicles are used, especially for some specific wastes, for example bulky items, furniture, etc. However, non-compaction collection vehicles generally require a larger body than compaction vehicles to attain their full payload. Last one is container handling vehicles, used for hauling large single containers and designed to reduce collection time and thereby increasing vehicle productivity. Used normally where whole container system is used. In this system, it reduces the loading time and hence maximize the productivity of the vehicles. Programming and scheduling. Every works need a programming and scheduling to perform in a systematic way. So solid waste management also needs programming and scheduling. The purpose of scheduling is to decide the following. First one, the area to be served. This is most important as we know that the solid waste generation rate depends on area or locality. So first we have to know which area we have to serve. Then frequency of service. Then we have to fix the frequency of service. That means how many times we need to collect waste from that area. We have to fix that. Third one is the vehicles to be used in each area. Then we need to select number and types of vehicle based on the characteristics and rate of generation of solid waste. Last and final one is the number of shifts to be used. That means when and how many times the service will be provided, we have to fix this. Effects of improper scheduling. What may be the effect if the scheduling is not correct or appropriate? Inappropriate scheduling may cause serious environmental problem. Due to improper scheduling and poor operation of vehicles, in addition to an inadequate numbers of vehicles, the transport of the required quantity of the wastage is never achieved. If we select vehicle types and number of trips per day by improper scheduling, this may happen. Furthermore, inappropriately selected large vehicle cannot access narrow lanes or streets, which leads to accumulation of wastage in many instances. Processing of solid wastes. Process means the system or steps done before transferring the waste into disposal site. This is to done for the following purposes. The main purposes of processing of solid wastes are to improve the efficiency of solid waste management system, to recover usable materials, and to recover conversion products and energy. Processing techniques. There are several processing techniques to achieve the above three objective or purposes. Some important techniques are mechanical volume reduction. This helps to increase the load carrying capacity of the vehicle, and compaction will be mechanically. If we use compaction vehicle, this may be done automatically. Second one, chemical volume reduction. This also helps in volume reduction, generally by burning of wastage, that is called incineration. Mechanical size reduction. Process is shredding. That means to reduce the size of large or bulky wastage mechanically. In developed countries, normally a sieve size cutter is used to perform this shredding. Component separation. Last one is moisture content reduction. If we reduce the moisture content, that means dry the solid wastes, the volume of the solid wastes will be reduced and payload capacity of the vehicle will increase, and thus it makes the solid waste management cost efficient. Resource recovery from solid wastes. Resource recovery from solid wastes means that separation of reusable material and recyclable materials from solid wastes. However, the success of the solid waste is greatly depends on proper utilization of the recovered sources. Depending upon the character and quantity of waste and economic consideration and the technology available, any of the following options can be chosen. Let's see what are those options. Number 1, reuse of usable items in household wastes. For example, glass bottles, metal containers, etc. If recovered sources cannot be utilized, then the system will not be run. And the first one is the process in which we can directly use items as reusable materials. Second one is direct application of wastes on land. Generally, biodegradable wastes can use land as fertilizer, and sometimes the materials or solid wastes which are free from pathogenic microorganisms can be used as landfill purposes. Recycling through material recovery processes, that means to convert one item into a new usable item. Energy recovery through thermal combustion, incineration, etc., and can be used as heat generation source where it is needed. Last one is composting and other chemical and biological processes. Normally, the biodegradable waste can be used as fertilizer or compost. Incineration. Incineration is a process of reducing the combustible portion of the waste to an inert residue by high temperature burning. The product of combustion are ash, gases, and heat energy. Incineration is used to sterilize refuse. Usually about 80 to 90% volume reduction is available by this process, and in developing country like Bangladesh, this is a common practice to reduce the volume. Recycling processes of Bangladesh. Recycling helps to minimize the waste generation and also to reduce production, which is beneficial to economy and also for environment. So it is now strongly promoted. Now, what are the recycling processes involved or adopted in Bangladesh? Let's see. Recycling and reclamation are now strongly promoted for conservation of sources and prevention of environmental degradation. As saying above, in Bangladesh, the wastes have some market value are being reclaimed or salvaged in 3 stages. In the first stage, the housewives separate refuse of higher market values such as paper, bottles, fresh containers, old clothes, shoes, etc., and sell them to the street hawkers. These are the common practice in Bangladesh. Mostly, children of slum dwellers known as Tokai carry out the second stage of salvaging. That means, in second steps, children of slum dwellers are involved. They collect different items of low market value from waste collection bin. The item include broken glass cans, cardboard, waste paper, plastic, metal, and miscellaneous commercial wastes discarded by households. Generally, these are the items which have less market value than first stage. Scavenger at the final disposal sites do the third stage of salvaging when municipal trucks unload fresh refuse. Generally, scavengers search valuable items from solid waste refuges in the disposal sites. All these materials which are salvaged or reclaimed from solid waste by these 3 stages are sent to waste and old material shop. There, the wastes are washing, drying, and sorting intermediately. The refuse dealers separate the materials properly and sell them to the consumers as well as different factories for recycling. Generally in factories, all these items transformed into a raw material and produce a new material, that means recycle process done in factory. And that is the end of our today's lecture. Thank you everyone.